Are you ready?
Goodbye knees. Not that they're already not gone.
You ready? And 3, 2, 1.
I love that when you started that, I started it with a heavy sigh. So you guys probably just heard my heavy sigh. Welcome to the Fit Society Better Together podcast. First of all, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Nike, Tesla, Elon. Thanks for pitching in. There's a couple others, but we won't get too into the weeds on those.
Bitcoin is sponsoring us.
Bitcoin
We don't know who they are or where they come from.
It was an anonymous donation.
We got a call.
Today's topic, community. Is it overrated? Yes or no?
And why? And why?
So, as you guys know, we kind of highlighted last episode. If you didn't tune in to it, go back and listen to it so you kind of know how the rest of these are going to go. But a quick overbrief is community. Is it overrated? That's going to be our big idea. We're going to have 3 thoughts, 2 actions, 1 question, and a nice go at the end of the podcast to summarize it up so you can go take action in your life and make yourself better. Also, totally wing that. Nailed it.
By the way,
in case you were wondering. So, big idea, community. Is it overrated, yes or no? Why? Cass, you want to kick us off with a thought on community? Actually, I should introduce you guys. I'm here with Cassidy and MJ.
Hello.
Hi, thanks, Corey.
And friends.
You're welcome.
Is a community overrated? No, I think entirely the opposite. We're all probably known that we go to Fit Society. So when I started at that community 9 years ago, I was looking for something because I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find anything really that stuck with me fitness-wise. And I'd tried some of the other gyms. I'd go to a global gym, and those were boring. I tried Orange Theory. Again, boring and not extremely challenging. The first few times I went to Fit Society, I puked my brains out, and I thought, "Wow, this is great." So, realistically, it's why I'm still here. I look back on my last 9 years here, and I look back on the majority of the travel I've done aside from work, and it's with people from Fit Society. The concerts I've gone to, people from Fit Society. The events I've done, people from Fit Society. So, do I think a community is important, and do I think it can help you achieve goals and better your life? Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Love it.
Yep. So what do you think about community?
I think it's overrated.
I'm glad that you said that because I didn't want to be the only one.
You want to be the only guy? This is such a softball question for me.
Yeah. Well, that's why we did this episode on it.
Yeah.
It's like the first real episode, and we didn't want you to look dumb.
Yeah, we don't need to.
No, this is, and I have a unique paradigm or thought about this because I came from the exact opposite in the fitness space. To be really honest, I was a one-on-one guy. That's what I did. I graduated from the University of Northern Colorado in 2004 and came out here for my master's internship doing corporate health and wellness for Verizon Wireless, and found out very quickly that is not, I repeat, not the demographic or population that I wanted to work with, at least in that space. The people, yes. The delivery system, no. But I started as a one-on-one trainer and was responsible for building a business that way, and did that for quite a few years. So when I made the switch of asking myself, man, there's got to be a better way than charging people $1,000 a month to be able to realize real results, have something that's sustainable, et cetera, et cetera. Can it be done? The interesting thing is what I thought was going to be a downside, okay? And what I mean by a downside, or the thing, is going from one-on-one to group, for example, which was a major shift for what I had done in my experience, actually became the secret sauce on a lot of levels for ultimately many of the modest successes we've had over the last 10 years, in that what I thought would be a downside ended up being an upside, because not only was there accountability from a coach or a trainer down to a client, there was lateral accountability from member to member.
Yeah.
And then now you introduce this thing called healthy competition, esprit de corps, camaraderie, right? These things are not existent in a one-on-one space, or they're just not low-hanging fruit. It's not very intuitive in that space. So what I thought was going to be like, oh shit, there's people are going to think that there's less value because they're going from one-on-one to these other people and they're not going to get the attention. It actually just 10x'd the other way. I didn't foresee it happening in the way that it ended up happening, but I think my thought on community is this. And I can only speak to my experiences personally as well as professionally. And I can say, without a doubt, that the best experiences that I've ever had in my life were with a group of people of 2 or more. Whether I was on a team, whether I was, a sports team growing up, or in an organization. I don't know what it is. I think just because my belief system on a lot of levels, it's divine. But I feel like every human being has a real life desire to be part of something bigger than themselves.
I agree.
Period.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of ways to get it, okay? Fit Society, for example, you have work, you have home. A lot of people look at Fit Society as their third place. So they go to work, they go to home, they come to Fit Society. Some people, that's work, home, bowling league. Sometimes it's work, home, church, work, home, whatever. And I would argue that the people that have a third place, a healthy third place, surrounded by like-minded people that want to support each other in a common goal, and ours just happens to be an idea of holistic health. It's not just fitness. What's so fucking crazy about our mission statement, it says nothing about fitness. It says nothing about working out. It says nothing about eating right, and that shit's on purpose.
Right.
That's on purpose. We exist to connect, we exist to challenge, and we exist to inspire people to be better together. And by the way, that better together wasn't an accident, okay? Because over the years, I've been able to watch and realize and see stories like Cassidy and hundreds more that I asked myself, would they have gotten that same experience or those same results holistically if they weren't a part of a community?
Right.
And I have a 100% convicted spirit that the answer is no.
True.
So for me, I have a unique perspective in it from where I came from, right? The one-on-one to group, but now I look at it present day, and this is year 17 for me in the fitness space. This is all I've done. I've been one of those fortunate people that I just loved people, loved fitness, and
worked out.
It just worked out. I mean, I worked my ass off, but it worked out in the right vessel. And the cool thing is that looking back on it, I can say that we are doing something special, and it's for a purpose and a cause bigger than ourselves. And anybody that gets on that freaking seat of the bus, they're gonna crush, at least in our space.
Yeah.
And so
this is part of it, right? We're doing this podcast.
Yeah.
We're not getting paid for this. We're
What?
Wait, what?
What?
Bitcoin called.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bitcoin called.
But it's all part of it. It's why would all 3 of us stop what we're doing and take time out of our lives to try to do something for the community. It's because we care, and it's to me it's a selfish thing, but it's also very helpful for everybody else, hopefully.
Yeah.
And on my rambling thought, the tail end of that, because I totally forgot where I was going with that, it just came back to me, is that community in the fitness space right now, and this is where I went off on my 16-year tangent, is like a lot of things have come and gone in phases. And I don't know if, you guys weren't in the space 10 years ago, but when functional training came about, right? It was like this buzzword and term. And I would talk to all trainers and coaches and be like, hey, what's functional training? And everybody had a different definition. Like, is it constantly very functional movements performed at a high intensity? Is it doing weights and cardio combined? Is it doing movements that are in 3-dimensional planes, frontal, sagittal, and transverse? It's all this bullshit, right? And it was a buzzword. And community has become the new fucking buzzword in fitness, and it drives me crazy. Not because it's not important, but my thing is, and we talk about this internally all the time, stop fucking talking about it and start showing it. And the way you show it is one person and one relationship at a time. Because I mean, we just did a vision banquet, us as a team, and we're like, how do you define community? And for us, it's like it's a collection and a group of relationships, 2 or more. So, where am I going with this? I'm going to like, it's not just a buzzword. It's not just a thing and something you put on a wall. It's experienced, and the benefit you need to be part of. The people need to understand that it's something that's experienced and not just talked about.
Right. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think it's a experience enhancer is what I would call it. I mean, I can think about every time in my life where if I've had somebody else, whether it's painful or a good experience or a bad experience, it's always better with somebody else. And the other cool thing about it is like it just provides opportunity. The chances of me not being in a community and end up sitting in a room with you two, with the age difference, the where we're at in our lives, the what we believe in, what we do outside of the gym and that community, the chance of us all sitting here and talking for 30 minutes is like 0.1%.
Correct.
Yep. And I just think it's awesome.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Yeah. First douchey comment of the podcast. No, and I think as stupid and corny as it sounds, my buddy literally on his Instagram, we go rock climbing all the time together, but has, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
That's cool.
And that one always sticks out to me because it's like, anytime that I get a wild hair at my ass and I want to like punish myself or make myself hurt, like you go out running by yourself in the middle of summer, that sucks. And then if you do it with a buddy, you're like, that sucked, but we went further. And I actually like at the end of it, you're like, I had fun.
Yeah.
I don't think anything lights me up more than like doing fitness related things, like finishing a class workout or finishing a workout at the station and then watching everybody lay in like a puddle of their sweat on the floor and just walk around and give people high fives. Yeah. It's like just gas.
Fuel for the soul.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
gas.
cool.
Yeah, that's
Totally
my
agree.
experience enhancer for sure.
Yeah. I agree.
For sure.
So we're all bought in to the idea.
Not overrated.
Of
Conclusion.
community.
Yes.
We came to consensus. Shocker.
Yeah.
So those are our 3 thoughts in this 3, 2, 1, go. Let's go to 2 actionable items. If we say, hey, community is a good thing, whether it's an experience enhancer, whether it changes your life for the better, whether it makes you part of something bigger than yourself, what do you do from here?
Yeah. I think action number 1 is just find one. Find a community. It's literally that simple. If you find a community, good things will start to happen with maybe some caveats that we'll get into later, but you just need to find a community. And I don't know about you guys, and you guys can jump in and maybe give some advice on how to find one. But literally whatever gets you going in the morning, whatever you spend your free time on that you're passionate about, whether that's fitness, whether that's coffee and what kind of beans are roasted and how, like find something in that area with a community and just jump into it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I would put an asterisk next to it and say a community and a group of people that are going to progress you towards positive life goals, whether it be health, fitness, wellness, financial, spiritual, etc. Because although there are many types of communities, some, we'll leave it open-ended for the viewers, go into certain groups and doing certain things, if it's not in line with the vision you have for your life in those different capacities, don't go down those rabbit trails. It might be an obvious statement I'm saying, but your question is like, where do I start? Well, maybe you identify a need. What's a need you have in any of those capacities that we outlined? And then ask yourself, what groups of people or where are groups of people that do that? Right? Like, I'm not financially fit. Okay, where do I go?
Right.
What do I look at? Let's go find people and or groups of people that I can at least expose myself to enhance that experience, to increase my odds of a better outcome.
You know, and obviously the internet is endless, and it's a great place to find things. But without even MJ and I did the 75 hard, and that's a big community. So just by me posting my progress in there and putting it out there, and actually putting myself out there a little bit, I got so many comments and I got so many people that said, dude, you inspired me to join this and do it. And I mean, I had people that I hadn't heard from in 10 years, that did it, and I followed up with them. That was the other thing, is you got to engage. If you're in a community, be a part of it. Don't just, don't just sit on the wall, engage. And so, these people that reached out to me, I mean, there's some people I didn't even know that reached out to me. There was a guy from Texas, two people from Texas, a guy and a gal. And I followed them their entire way through their progress, made comments with them, asked them if they needed advice. And it was really cool to all of a sudden join a community that I didn't even know I was a part of, but,
that is cool.
The internet and, the face web and all that other stuff is so powerful to find those areas, so yeah, I mean it's a great place to start if you don't have one physical.
It's Facebook. Yeah. I know you're 50.
My bad. Yeah.
It's Facebook.
It's not AOL page.
And here's the other thing. There's a difference between, like, when you say join a community versus expose yourself to a community. So I think a good action point is number one, expose yourself to a community with no expectation.
Yeah.
And then Cassidy nailed it on the head when he said the second thing, which is you got to engage.
Yeah.
Which means you have to go in with an open mindset. You have to go in with a growth mindset. You have to go in with humility and asking yourself, why did I do this in the first place? Yep. Well, if there's a benefit to be had, it will not be received if you're turned off.
Yeah.
So the first thing is get your fucking mind right and open up your paradigm to receive the good in that community, whether it's fitness, bowling, freaking church, rock climbing, a restaurant, whatever it is, right? So those are our two starts, right?
And I would add a time frame to that. So give yourself a time frame. Don't show up and I'm going to be a part of this community for 2 days and be like, I didn't get anything from that. Commit for 30 days. And have that mindset. So find a community, commit for 30 days, have that mindset that you're going to go in and just experience all the benefits of that community for 30 days. Like, that's an easy number. It's 1 month of your life. If you end up hating it, it's 1 month. And if you're in a community, it's probably not going to take more than an hour of your day to inundate yourself into that community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you're talking 30 hours.
And I might add too, because I'm just wearing the hat of somebody listening, and we're going to have one of two types of people, introverts and extroverts. Right?
I'm an introvert.
Yeah, clearly.
And I'm an introvert.
And the obvious statement is this is a lot more realistic and intuitive for somebody like us. Us three don't have a problem with people, but we also, in our own rights, are closet introverts, right? On a certain degree. What I'm getting at is if you're an introvert, and you're listening to this, and you're going, that's, no thanks, but no thanks.
Too much for me.
My whole, my thing is just dig a little deeper into a community that supports whatever it is to meet you where you're at. So like our community, for example, we got people that you're like, oh, yep, so-and-so's here, because you can hear them, see them, and feel them. But on the other side of it too, and this is the blessing in a community, is you have the people that are, more on the fence or whatever else, but you want to be, but you don't know how to be. And that's where I said, just expose yourself and just show up and be you.
Yeah.
And then the community, you will either fold into it or you won't. But I guess what I'm saying is I'm encouraging people that this may not be very intuitive.
Right.
Yeah.
To embrace that challenge and lean into that uncomfortability. And like Corey said, give yourself 30 days with no expectation.
Yeah.
And get uncomfortable, because that's where the growth happens, is in that uncomfortable space.
Totally. The other thing too is that if you are joining community that you are uncomfortable, I mean, granted, walking into Fit Society can be intimidating because everybody knows each other, and people, you hear a barbell clanging off the ground, and you're like, what is that? If you've never seen it before, it can be intimidating. So bring a friend. If you're gonna go do something, grab a friend and go, hey, let's go do this rock climbing class, or let's go take golf lessons, or, grab a friend and go join that community together. That way you you have somebody to go with, and it's a little easier, to bring in when you go that route.
Yeah, for sure. Even as a young, extroverted, I won't say fit. I was like in okay shape-ish, above average population,
fat?
maybe. Yeah, like skinny fat.
Ish.
It's not a big deal, dude. I can curl the tens. But even as that personality, walking into Studio Fit, as literally like a 24-year-old, I was like, I don't know. There's like 2 dudes that are bigger than me. And then I looked around, I was like, dang, there's like 30 dudes that are bigger than me. Even some of the girls are bigger than me. Dang it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and you just got to jump in. You just got to commit. And the nice part about Fit Society is that we have a plethora of people that are going to help you ease your way into that.
Yeah.
One question. What would you ask yourself? You've now figured out that communities are good. You have found one that is going to challenge you and make you move forward in your life or be a better person. You're going to commit for 30 days. How do you set yourself up for success to get the most experience out of that community during those 30 days?
So I think the question is, do you have a growth mindset? Do you have an open mind that you can commit to this 30 days? And you might get probably out of your comfort zone a little bit. You're probably going to have to do some extra research on the community you're in, whether it's something you're comfortable with. If you're joining, say, a food group, a foodie group, you're probably going to have to look up what a romulade is and what a different.
Please enlighten me.
Exactly.
What is a romulade?
Don't be bringing that shit in there like you're Mr. Romulado.
I don't even know what it is. I just saw it on a commercial.
It's thing.
You don't know the difference between a chicken thigh and a chicken breast, bro.
Definitely right. You're definitely right on that. But you're probably going to have to do some extra research, on the thing that you are interested in. And but again, have that growth mindset. Do you have that? And that's the thing you've got to ask yourself. Do I have an open mindset to learn and be purely open to this environment?
I think from here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the summation or the go. At the risk of sounding repetitive, but it's important, is have a healthy understanding and appreciation that with wherever you're at right now in your life, that you stand to benefit from the community. That's number 1. Number 2 is find one, expose yourself to one, do it for 30 days, do it with an open mindset, and then tertiary to that, and Cassie was leaning into this for a lot of you guys who are members of our community and others. Ask yourself the question, am I open to receive everything that this current community has to offer? And for example, just inside of our space, it's like, listen, we offer a community hike. Do you think you could benefit from a community hike? Not just from the hike, but the lateral rabbit trails off of it. I mean, guys, I can't tell you how many business deal transactions have been done by internally in our community.
Right.
How many people have found jobs off of our community? Spouses, raises, help around the house, babysitters, right? Like all these things that bring value to your life. That's what we're talking about. So when I say, are you open to receive everything that the community has to offer? For us, we define community very, very specifically. It's we before me. It's we are stronger united than we are divided. 100%. And so with that, if you have that mindset and you go expose yourself to everything that has to offer, you're just gonna receive all the good out of it. So
reap the rewards.
So if you're a member of the Fit, look at the hikes, the events, the seminars, the throwdowns, the happy hours, etc., and open yourself up. And maybe you're already part of this community, but you're kind of not part of this community. You stand to benefit from it. And then if you're part of a community outside of here in some sort of capacity, what are you doing? Are you open to receive everything that has? Volunteering in it, raising your hand for something, or showing up for something that you typically wouldn't. So
I'm gonna throw in a bonus action step too.
Wow.
Bonus action step.
Sponsored
bonus
by.
alert. Wah, wah, wah.
Sponsored by.
Sponsored by. Yeah. Power Up High Energy Trail Mix is right next to me. this is something the only reason I thought about this because it's something we tell our coaches, which is if there's a new member, the easiest way to start building a rapport and have a relationship or get involved into community with that person is, hi, my name is. If you are a part of the Fit Society community and you don't know somebody, literally walk up, hi, my name is, whatever it is.
Yep.
Do you normally come to the 1 p.m. class? Do you normally go on the hike? Change your life. Change your life. You'll make like 7 new friends in a week.
Be awesome.
Very good.
Awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is episode 2 of the Better Together podcast.
Any ideas, topics, or things you want to hear us talk about, you should at fitsocietyaz.com.
Or if you see us at the gym,
yeah,
talk to us, ask us then.
Yep.
So either way, we always like to we'd like to hear good, bad, or indifferent.
Yep. Cool. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next Monday.